to see such an attention to our summit and such an expectation of news, good news. Security is something that is obviously lacking right now, and our cooperation here in NATO of all partners is something that will definitely fill the security deficit. Ukraine is already and will always be a contributor to our common security. Security is our key objective for the NATO summit, for all the meetings and for all of our communications. First, I would like to welcome the extension of the mandate of Mr. Secretary General for another year, and I thank you, Jens, for your support. I highly appreciate this. Thank you. Second, we have now discussed in detail the situation regarding the confrontation with Russia, what we're doing for the sake of peace and security, and what we can still do to give more protection to our people. This primarily concerns the security and defense assistance from our partners, and I'd like to say that we have some positive news on the new packages of defense support coming from our partners. And here in the summit, we already have a number of meetings, we have a number of arrangements, and I'm grateful to all those leaders who offered these packages of support to us. Thirdly, we discussed the expectations of NATO summit. Now, it's important that Ukraine will not need a membership action plan on its way to NATO, and I would like to extend words of gratitude to you, Jens, for these important steps. I know how many conversations or arrangements were to be made for such an event. We have taken a long path in interoperability with NATO, and our soldiers have a good expertise in cooperation with NATO, and they have proven they can well use the weapons, and they prove that the global democracy is far stronger than the terrorist attacks and terrorist threats. And even during the full-scale war against Russia, Ukraine continues to conduct reform, and in the process of our EU integration, we have clearly outlined what do we need to do, and we're doing that. Therefore, we highly appreciate the recognition that Ukraine will not need a membership action plan on its way to NATO. I would like to have a success on this summit for everyone, for our soldiers, for our citizens, for our children, for everyone, and particularly the security guarantees that are so important for the people, the security guarantees for Ukraine on our way to NATO, not instead of NATO, but as security guarantees on our way to integration. And today, these guarantees could be confirmed by the G7 countries, and if this will happen, and we'll be working on that, this will surely become a very important and specific success. We can state that the results of the summit are good, but should we receive an invitation, they would be the optimum. And I would like to extend words of gratitude to Lithuania, not just for this summit and for the energy that this summit is full of. We can see all those flags on the street. This is the human relations, not an artificial one. I'd like to extend words of gratitude for this. This is exactly the support for us and the energy for us, as we're not in NATO yet, but this is already the reality. This is our protection. This is the great support coming from the societies of around the world. And I thank you for this. I think this is the most important. This is the faith in Ukraine as a future fully fledged member to the alliance, and a faith to Ukraine as a guarantor of security, and a faith in Ukraine as a victorious party in this war for the freedom, for the values of Ukraine. Once again, thank you. Glory to Ukraine.